Good afternoon, everyone. It is my immense pleasure to introduce Dr. Pushpa, Associate Professor, Department of Information Science and Engineering, MIT, Mysore. Ma'am has published several research papers in reputed journals and conferences. She is currently guiding PhD research scholar. With the brief introduction on behalf of management, staff, and student, I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Meghna.
Over
Take
to
to
you, ma'am.
Menoda. Okay. Now, I think students are safe at home, and let me know which class your people are studying. I think UG, almost all are UG. Sangeeta, can you just tell me which class you are studying? Sangeeta is MCom. Really fine. So MCom means already you have completed your UG, and I think in your final year you have submitted your project work and all these things. Is it? I am right? Am I right? A master's in commerce. Okay, fine. In UG, have you submitted your project or any other reports, sort of things? Yeah, please do respond. Yes, you people submitted. Few are not yet submitted. Okay, fine. Few are submitted in your UG. So the thing here is, I am here to give you a small topic regarding this topic. You may be knowing this topic, but the thing is, I need to add on few information regarding this topic. The topic here is which we are going to discuss and share the ideas or share the things is a plagiarism. So anybody is knowing about the plagiarism? Is anybody aware of plagiarism? Anybody is aware of? No. Aishwarya Asha is saying it's a no. Now let me say something and provide you a basic knowledge regarding the plagiarism. So why we require this plagiarism, know about plagiarism is because we are all of you say we are studying and we are making out the projects and we are building the reports. While building the reports, we are going to access the internet. Why we are going to access the internet? Because we try to find out the topics or find out the ideas or finding out the few related papers which is required for our work. Okay, so we keep on accessing or googling internet so that we are going to get the few information or more information from the internet. So after receiving those information, we try to copy out those information and we are going to put it out in your like we are going to form a report and we are just submitting before the submitting in our university examinations. But the thing here is, as it has been increasing, as the day by day accessing of internet is got increased, and the reports there was a copying of data is got increased. So there was no purity in the work in a basic in any of the degrees. There was just it is just repeatedly doing the same task. So that is what we call it as a plagiarism. See, we just used to access the internet, copying the data, whatever we are going to require for our work, and then we used to paste it and form the report. So that's what we call it as a plagiarism. So the university that has got been like they have been like become very like alert to avoid these things. So there was a software tools are being got evolved to avoid this plagiarism. So the plagiarism is very much important and you should have a knowledge regarding the plagiarism and how we can avoid the plagiarism, those things, and what are the software tools we having for the plagiarism, those things and all you should know. So for that purpose I am here to present regarding the plagiarism. I'll try. I'll try to share few information, and I'm trying to give a much information or inputs regarding this plagiarism. So everybody, I'll just start presenting. If you got any queries or doubts, you can raise your voice and you can ask the questions. And if you got any doubts, you can regarding this, uh, you can ask the questions. Myself, Dr. Pushpa, Associate Professor, Department of ISC. I'm here to present a plagiarism in academia. And now, these are all the things which we are going to like highlight and know about these things. The first thing is plagiarism. It is being pronounced as a plagiarism. It's like we you people used to commonly we are going to keep on call it as a plagiarism, but it is just like a regarding a plagiarism. So plagiarism, what we call it as a plagiarism, the first thing is you should know what is plagiarism. See, plagiarism is where the someone else is going to rob or take away the words, ideas, or offering which is being present in the internet or in a book. We can call it as in a book also. We are going to take the material. So that material we are going to copy down and then we highlight it as if we are written that. That is what a plagiarism. See, the plagiarism happens when we use another person intellectual properties and then we are not going to cite their property or we don't give them a credit. This is what the plagiarism. This plagiarism is a serious offense. Is it not? Because we are taking some other's property and saying that property is ours. That's obviously there is a serious problem. Okay, that is a serious offense. Now, the evolution, when we comes to look at the evolution of plagiarism, this plagiarism evolution is being the plagiarism itself is being derived in the 18th century. So how it is got derived by this plagiarism? The plagiarism is derived from a Latin word that is called a plundering. So plundering means a robbery, or we can say that is a kidnapping. So plundering means kidnapping a word from a other sources, that is from the other person who has written that intellectual property is going to be kidnapping. That is what a plundering. So just like kidnapping a kid from his parent, that is what the like we have got the plundering. And here the plundering word which is got from the Latin, and during the 18th century, that is the status of Anne of 1710 is being considering the four countries, like that is British rule was there in the 18th century. The British rule was being like scattered around the overall world, that is like countries like Australia, Canada, Hong Kong, India, New Zealand and United States, where they were British colony was present. They got like they've been caught hold of some of the persons who are stealing or plundering the property, that is plundering the words or stories or some other writing things that is going to be plundered by the people. So to avoid this association, that is the British colonies, where made a law. That particular law is being defined. That law is a copyright. So copyright means once you have been written something, that should be have a copyright. So means it is indicating it's your own property that cannot be plundered or that cannot be plagiarized by any of the person. So that is how the plagiarism got derived. So this is just a small information regarding the birth of the plagiarism. The next one is, what is plagiarism? So we can say the plagiarism can be defined in various ways, or plagiarism can be say different types of plagiarism is also present. So like this is a one, repeating an idea expressed by someone else and not giving credit, which we call it as a plagiarism. And in the plagiarism, it can be a verbatim. Verbatim means it is considering the as some copy and paste. That's it. If you consider few lines or a sentence and take it a copy and paste it, that is what a verbatim. Next thing is changing a word. See, the word can be contains a different synonymous. So changing the synonymous, that like it is a one thing. And even a para parsing or summarizing. Para parsing. See, consider the para and changing the wordings in a particular para, and that gives you a same meaning. This is a one type of plagiarism. Okay, so plagiarism itself is saying a robbery or kidnapping. So we are also doing such type of sort of things, because no internet we are going to get a lots of documents. We just take it from them, and we are showing like that document is us. This is not. So here this is a one thing. And also along with this plagiarism, along with these things, plagiarism is also a few things. That is purchasing a pre-written paper. This is also one type of plagiarism. So you people should not do this. Purchasing a work, that's really bad thing. And nowadays, in a UG, they're be not working like anything to have their own ideas and working. They are doing such sort of things because ಏನಕ್ಕೆ life must be easy going. So they should not take trouble, or they should not try to learn new things. That's the main drawback of our students. They are being back of purchasing a pre-written paper. Next, letting someone else to write a paper for you. It's also very bad thing. The nowadays so many institutes are being growing because of laziness of students. They are not going to study by themselves. They are not going to take the risk, taking risk. So that is what making letting someone else to write a paper for you. This is also one sort of plagiarism. Paying someone else to write a paper for you, submitting as your or someone else unpublished work either with or without permission. So this is all comes under the plagiarism. So next year is if you incorporate an author's ideas, that is taking an author's idea into your paper, or if the work of others has influenced your thinking on the topic, then the source must be cited. If you are considering any other's work, that should be cited. ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು see, these are all the things which we call it as a plagiarism or plagiarism. Next, what is not plagiarism? That is, you should have a common knowledge. See, when once you consider common knowledge, that common knowledge is not a plagiarism. So, common knowledge which is utilized in each and every work, that is not a plagiarism. So, the next thing is now a thumb rule, just like a big man was born in 1770. This is the example of which is common things which is highlighted in each and every textbook or some other documents. That is, a rule of a thumb is fact that can be found in three or more sources. It is considered, see, if a particular word or if a same data, if it is considered in three or more documents, that is called as a common knowledge. Are you getting? Are you following? Is my voice is audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, okay, okay. Okay, okay, fine. Fine. Are you following, students? Okay,
Ma'am.
fine. Okay. So that is what the consideration of common knowledge. Next, what is not plagiarism? See, if you are taken the idea from some other, expressing idea, your own idea in your own words, giving credit, this is all not a plagiarism. See, if you have used some other idea, if you are giving credit, then it is not a bad. Next, using a direct quote, because direct quote means some words which will be directly it has been said by some other people. Taking that quote into your work and giving credit is not a plagiarism. And parsing, paraparsing, and summarizing is also not plagiarism. Only when you give a credit. That's all the things. These are all the you should keep in mind while writing your thesis or when you're writing your project report. These are all the ideas which you should consider. You should give the credit. And my suggestion is for you people, you first thing is you try to study the literature surveys, because no, literature survey means you are studying the three or more papers. So if you study three or more papers thoroughly, you are going to get a new idea, so that you can have your own idea for the developing your work. That's the main intention of making you people to study literature papers. So you should not neglect the literature papers, because when you study the literature papers or a survey, if you do more and more survey, then you can become a creator of your own ideas. If you should take this suggestion, like I would like to suggest. So next thing is, after credit, how to give the credit for the papers which we have used in our work. That is by using a citation. See, citation means it's a formal references for published or unpublished sources. You are providing a reference to your paper. And next, that reference must include a reference to a book or a paper or an author, or especially in a scholarly work, especially for research work when you are doing, or if you are doing final year project. During that time, we are going to depend on a other papers. During and we are supposed to write a literature part. During that time, we should follow a citation. Hence, we should provide a references. So while referencing a paper to in our work, during that time, we are going to come across different citation style. See, different citation style here is a first citation style is American Psychological Association style. Now let us look at this. I'll try to go over some. I'll say, see, for example, this is one paper. I just chosen this paper for your test. This is her paper who has written. This is a person, Rain is the author, and it's a faster RCCN towards real-time object. This is the paper name, and this one is an author. And we can also look at here. It's not being given. It's a conference paper. Okay, fine. If I'll take some other one, example where. Okay, this is also a conference. Okay, I'll consider this only. Uh, I'll take. See, this is the paper which is written by the other person. So now what happens? I'll just take a few words, or a sentence or a para from this particular paper. I'll just copy it and I'll just copy and I'll paste it in my work. I'll just paste it in my work. Now what happens? If I copy that and I'll paste it here and I try to change some meaning of this para, it's simultaneously. I'll change the synonymous. I'll change the synonymous. Objectless, objectless. What is this? Some other. So I'll try to change some meaning, some wordings in this para, and I left it. I use it. Then it is purely a para plagiarism. We are going to have a plagiarism. But the same paragraph or a same sentence, if I use it and I have got a citation, the citation is I should mention when I mention the author, I mention this or some when I mention this author name, and also like which journal, like for example, if I say IJCRT, something like that, journal and PP, page number. So all these things which has been highlighted here in this case, this type of citation, writing citation, which we call it as a, American Psychological Association. Okay. Next, if that second type of citation we call modern language association. That is, when we have taken the copy paste or when we have taken the para or a sentence or an idea from the other paper, and then if you are mentioning only this author name along with the journal and without having this page, then it is being said to be a modern language association style. This is a different style of citation. Next, the third style of citation here is Vancouver is a third style of citation that we usually follow this particular style. That is, we are going to mention after taking this particular para from other authors in my work, then I should give a reference number. For example, inside the square bracket, we should highlight 1. And then I should mention in the reference, in the last page, I think you people will be having reference. In this reference, I should highlight this particular person, name, publication details, and where and all it published, volume, PP. That should be highlighted in this particular reference. That style of citation, we call it as a Vancouver citation. I think you people followed this citation part. So while citation, if you are providing a citation, that is not a plagiarism. So why you should cite ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, because the amount of plagiarism level is going to be decreased. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಯಾವಾಗ citation ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ, ನಿಮ್ದು plagiarism ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That is one way how we can use it the citations. If you give citation, the plagiarism will be reduced. The next terms to the different types of plagiarism. So when it comes to the different types of plagiarism, the first thing is there is a various type. See, depending on the type of plagiarism, it will be called as a severe, serious, and moderate plagiarism. So here the first thing is a global plagiarism. See, when it comes to the global plagiarism, here it's a severe one, and it's not acceptable by any of the universities or any, and it is seriously considered as an offense, because taking the entire work of other person and showing it, or we are going to we are demonstrating it, or we are showcasing that particular work as ours own work, then it is called as a global plagiarism. That's the one point. Presenting an entire text, andre entire work of other one is being presenting as ours. That's a severe offense. It's a serious offense also. That is what we call it as a global plagiarism. The next one is a para parsing plagiarism. See, here what happens, para parsing plagiarism, we are just considering, just like I shown you this particular part. Thus, I'll just take the complete para of another person, and I'll take the same idea of this particular person. I'll just make certain changes in the changes in the wording or a sentence, and then I'll make it a plagiarism free, and then I'll showcase it as a my own idea. That is what is called as a para parsing. That is the para parsing plagiarism, re-parsing someone else's ideas without citation. That is what is serious offense. This is also one type of serious offense. Next is the verbatim plagiarism. See, verbatim plagiarism is directly copying and pasting and showing that without citing. That is what also a serious problem. The next one is mosaicing plagiarism. See, mosaicing is just just studying the multiple papers. You are going to study multiple papers, taking the paras from multiple papers and combine together and showing it as your work. That is what we call it as a mosaic plagiarism. See, combining the text and ideas from different sources without citation, this is what is serious plagiarism. Self plagiarism. It's really offense. That is a self plagiarism is we have already done the work. You will be you are already done the work in your UG, but you try to show it in another course. You try to reuse that particular part and try to show it as a new idea. So you are copying your own previous work and resubmitting as a new work. That is what is self plagiarism. See, uh, reusing passage and ideas from your own previous submitted work. This is an offense, but still it is considered as a moderate. Why it is moderate is because you are resubmitting the same paper. That is what we call it as a self plagiarism. Next, incorrect citation. See, incorrect means without knowing or unknowingly, you are being not cited that particular part and you are failing to cite it. And few types of what happens here is unknowingly or like you are going to just write your own, but still that will be showing like a copy of other one. That is also will comes under the incorrect citation. So these are the few types of plagiarism. Next, next we should have certain aids or we should have a tips for avoiding the plagiarism. To avoid the plagiarism, no, see, you should not copy. Idea you should have. How to get this idea? See, study well. Study more papers. You are going to get your own ideas. See, and another thing, use online tools to check the plagiarism. You got a paid version and also unpaid versions of plagiarism checker. So try to check your document, your document to know where and all you are going to get a, you are going to get like plagiarized. So you can make a changes or you can add include your own idea by using a plagiarism online tools to check for plagiarism. And also provide a links you have referred to. It's the main important thing. Whatever the document you are referring, you just even ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ I'll give an idea for you people. See, the website you are going to refer, you just copy the link and you paste it somewhere else and keep saving that document so that you if you should highlight that links in your paper when writing the paper. Next, try to write your own words. So you try to study and your ideas, you put it in your own words. So writing and put it in your own words means don't think I don't know English or something at all. You try to refer the books. You try to refer some other English dictionary. So if you keep on having if you keep on analyzing the dictionary or looking at the dictionary, you can get your that idea can if you have got a good idea, you can write it in your own words. Okay, so these are the things that you should build up in your in this age itself. Okay, the next, this is what the avoiding plagiarism. Write from a scratch. Is it use quotation marks, para passing, and summarize. Avoiding. These are all the things you should avoid to do. Okay. Provide complete citation. You should do. Next, know when to cite. Keep tabs on source. Know the types of plagiarisms, which type of plagiarism it is. Use a plagiarism checker and seek advice from professor. This is really must do because as I'm looking at my students, this is what they are lacking. Yeah, because the reason here is due to pandemic. We could not able to meet our professor or a instructor. So this is very bad thing. You should have because it now nowadays the communication system is such a was ನಾವು ಹೋಗಿ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. We can do virtually. We can visit as and when we require. Is it not? So take as much as possible. You just utilize the knowledge of your professors and try to make him like you should go and make him to engage with your work. That's the spirit of our students. That must be done by our students. That is the one thing. So next, consequence. See, you are going to face a different consequence. Means bad consequence you are going to face if the students and the researcher is going to have a more plagiarism. That is, we are going to have a common consequence in the grade penalties. That is, you are going to your work is going to be degraded and you are going to get less marks. So that is what the penalty. Next, failing in your course, facing disciplinary action. It may move to the court and you should pay like penalties and you should face all those things. So facing disciplinary action, suspension or expulsion from the university. These are all the few consequences we need to face. That is a one thing. Now, consequence for that we can differentiate consequence for the students and consequence for the researcher. Now, let us look at the plagiarism in colleges. What happens in plagiarism in colleges? Plagiarism in colleges can be, once again, it can be of two types. That is, one is accidental plagiarism, the other one is the deliberate plagiarism. So, your accidental plagiarism, what happens? Unintentionally, you plagiarize. See, because now you people will be studying, keep on studying the textbooks and all this thing. So you feel like to uh, form your own idea and make it your own idea. But few times what happens, that idea which you have written, that will be somewhere else other people have done, and that forms into a plagiarism. That is unintentionally you plagiarize and you have no previous infractions, then the most colleges will lower your grade or fail you for the course. Next, deliberate plagiarism. It's intentionally commit plagiarism. For example, copying and pasting text or paraphrasing another author's idea without citing the source. This is a deliberate plagiarism. The next is consequence for the plagiarism for researcher. Since researcher, what happens? Researcher level, if you move, they should be like they have to develop a new ideas or a new work has to be demonstrated. But the thing here is, few times we are going to have a we are going to like refer to a literature survey, and there will be a few things is going to be plagiarized. So during that time, the reputation is going to be severely damaged. And plagiarize has both a short and long term consequence for your research career. Okay, and difficulties for finding the journals that publish your work, and inventors who willing to fund your research. These are all the few consequences with respect to the researcher. Next, let us look at the self-plagiarism. So, this is a few things which self-plagiarism I like to discuss. See, according to the UGC, there is a self-plagiarism. This is what the circular. This is what the circular of April 2020. It's being given by the UGC Grants Commission. That is, to the public notice, they have been highlighted regarding self-plagiarism. So what they were I to highlight here is, if if an individual is self-cited, do not add any numbers to an individual citation. ನೋಡಿ, ಈಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಸೈಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೆಚ್ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ರೆಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೆಚ್ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗಿವನ್. ಸೊ if if you are self citation, if you are being self plagiarized, if you are using your own work, and you should have the citation, you should indicate the self citation. If you are not indicated the self citation, then that particular paper index value or H index in a global academia is going to be reduced. That's the main thing. See here, text recycling, self-plagiarism. See, what is this? What and all is self-plagiarism is going to be indicated over here. See, republishing the same work already published elsewhere without due and full citation, publishing smaller or expected work from longer and previous without due and full citation in order to show larger number of publications. See, publicizing our own work, huh? Text recycling or a self-plagiarism. Recycling our own work is also a offense with respect to the UGC. Means UGC has been highlighted that it's a self-plagiarism is also one type of offense, and you have to face a difficult consequence, so that, see here, there will be a vice chancellor selection committee. This experts, they are going to involved in that, and if the evaluation of the applicant published work ensure that the working being submitted for promotion selection is not self-plagiarized. Here, these are all the members who is going to check for whether your work has been self-plagiarized or not. This is the one thing. So now let us look at the self-plagiarism. It's a few words regarding self-plagiarism. As I said, I think you people know about this self-plagiarism. As far as now, as I said, self-plagiarism means reusing work that you have already published or submitted. And this mislead your readers by presenting old work as a completely as a new work. Next, common forms of self-plagiarized by students. See, what happens by students here is handing in a paper you already submitted in another class. Passing section or paragraph from previously submitted work into a new paper. Next, reusing data ideas from a bachelor thesis and building on them in your master thesis without citing your original work. Yes, obviously, those who have submitted your work in a UG, they wants to continue the work of UG in PG. During that time, you should cite this bachelor's degrees work, and then you should continue. If you are not citing or giving credit to your bachelor's thesis, then that type of work we call it as a self-plagiarized. So here, common forms of self-plagiarized by the academics is data set from a previous study, published or not, without making the reader aware of this, and submitting a manuscript for publishing containing data, conclusions, something data which we are going to use it from other paper, from our own paper, and without citing the previous publications. And also, in the single concept itself, only single idea, publishing multiple similar papers is also one type of severe plagiarism, self-plagiarism. Now, how to avoid it? For student, do not reuse your old assignment. Is it not? Don't use the old assignment. Take as a reference your old assignment, you can keep it. Old work, you can keep it. You can keep it as a reference, and you cite it or give the credit for that. And before moving it to your work, try to have a discussion with your instructor or the professors. Next, for academics, do not reuse previously published work, and if you use a old data or idea, always inform the reader. Next, let us move on to plagiarism check. See, when it comes to there are various software tools are there to have the plagiarism checker. So, the plagiarism checker tools or a software has been divided into two. One is few are paid versions, and the few are unpaid free tools. I would like to suggest you people, as you're part of your work, I think if you are not like affordable to pay the amount for that such a like paid version, then you can go for the free tool. But the difference here is when it comes to the when it comes to the security and database, the free tool or the free online softwares are going to be not secured enough. It's not secure because the repeatedly, if you are checking your own data or a own paper, if you want to check, if you want to recheck, there will be some it's keep on recording that particular data, and that may be used by the other person, so it is not so secure. And also, the free online plagiarism checker are does not contain enough data, or so that it can be it can't assure that it gives you a perfect result, because other the database ಅಲ್ಲಿ references citation, yes, references or the wordings, grammars, it's not being present enough. That is a one drawback of a free checker. Now let us discuss both the things, that is a paid checker, plagiarism checker, and the free plagiarism checker. Now let us discuss with this checkers. Now this is an uncheck. This part is unchecked. Unicheck, sorry, Unicheck. Unicheck is a plagiarism checker. It's a paid version. It verifies it's really a good, it's verify the originality of the submitted text, documents, and you can say that is it is each and every and entire document is going to be loaded, and the entire document can be checked over there, and it is easier for usage. So, and it also provides you a report after checking your document. It provides you a report, and it suggests where in all you should change the wordings or a paragraph or sentence you can change. The first check. Next is Turnitin. See, when it comes to the Turnitin, it's we can say this is the first one. It's a best plagiarism checker, and compared to Scriber, iAuthenticate and Unicheck, the Turnitin is a cost is very low and it is very useful for the while checking the report. So this is the one, the Turnitin. So Turnitin, how you can access the Turnitin is you are going to pay for the Turnitin. It's around $15 to $20. It's a 10 to $15 for the students version. So you can like if you people are using this Turnitin, you can use it because it's only like it gives you for one particular pay it gives you like how many times how many reports you can check for this plagiarism checking. So here also it includes a three steps. As usual, you know that you should create a account, you should submit a paper and review the originality of the report. This is a Turnitin. Next is a Viper is a just it's a substitute of a Turnitin. It is also a paid version, but it is not effective like a Turnitin. But it is a cost is compared to Turnitin, it is less. Reaper, it's also a paid version, but it is costlier than Turnitin. Now let us move on to the new checker. It's online, free, available. Now this particular part is an online checker. It is available. So this is what a duty checker, next plagiarism checker, paper rater, copy links, that scan, plagiarism, vtext, Ethereum. So these are all the one where you can make a note of this different the plagiarism checker. Now let us look at the one checker, how you can make use of this online plagiarism checker. Demonstrate the Dupli checker. So Dupli checker is an online free checker. It's like checking spelling and grammar also. And another thing is we should like upload your document or you can make a copy and paste of your document and then and the limit is its word limit is only 1,000 word per search means per checking it is going to be only 1,000 words and it is very easy smooth and free plagiarism checker. Now analyze with this particular duty checker. I think you have you worked with this. One second. So far you followed any queries? Anybody? Any questions? No? Nothing? No doubts? I'll try to. Hello, is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'll just have the demonstration. that is one working with one duplicate checker. We will just work, and then you try to do the same way when you are using the free online checker. Yeah, the slow now. Here, it's what a duplicate checker. It's a free tool. Okay, so you can see passing tool is there, grammar check. Okay, so you can have a passing tool also, or you can check for the grammar. It's a free tool. Next, we come to here. I'll just copy and paste one of my document. The one thing we can say, like whenever you are using this free tool, it's make sure that you should keep, because it's 1,000 words, only the 1,000 words is the limit. So you try to uh, make it perfect things, and then once you plugarize, once you check for the plagiarism, and then you try to do it for the next further 1,000 words. So you should part by part you should check your complete things report, because the report will be like it will be have not restricted to 1,000 words. You will be having 20 pages or 30 pages reports are will be there. So we can't entire 30 pages, we can't do the plug checking in an online tool. So for that reason, you people, 4 to 5 members of your class, can purchase the paid plagiarism checker, so that it will be utilized for the 3 to 4, 5 members, means 5 to 6 members. 5 to 6 members can scan or check the plagiarism. 5 to 6 reports we can check it out. So try to do such type of things. If, for example, if it is a $15, turn it in is a $15. So $15 means it's around 775. So 1,000 or 1,500. So 5 to 6 members share it, and then you try to check your report thoroughly, because if you keep on doing free checking means it takes time. Let me consider this particular document. I'll just copy these things. I just copied this. I paste it over here. This Next is you can also choose the file here. If not, copy paste. You can also choose verify. Here, this there is a verify board's image. Okay. I got store store ಆಗಿದೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ or if not I'll choose the file. So okay, it's okay. See, I have done already done one of my document and I have downloaded the report. See, this is what from checker. I think you people you can copy paste it or you can upload the file, which the file must contain the 1,000 words. Okay. So now I have already done this task that is by using the duplicate checker plagiarism. So I got a report. Say 24% plagiarized and 76 is unique, and the words was 453. So the plagiarized words are going to be highlighted in the red mark. Red mark. This is what the report which I got, and along with this report, it that particular words or a that particular sentence has been matched with the references, and it is highlighting the title of that particular references. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ title na highlight ಮಾಡಿದೆ. It's showing the title. Okay, this is the way we are going to get the report. And we can, like, what happens here is by changing the wordings or changing these things, we can minimize the plagiarism. But still, if you are having your own idea, writing up in your own sentence, it makes you yeah, confidence. You people are going to get a confidence to do your own work, and also to you will be having ideas. You are going to get more ideas while presenting this. And another part here is there are I think you people just make a note of this free checker, duplicate checker. This is the first one. uh, Next is next plagiarism checker. This is will also present. It is a free checker. Uh, it's it is going to be available if you are placing in a Google itself. You can check for the plagiarism checker. It's a free available. Next to paper reader. It's not only using for the checking the particular para or your document, but also it checks for the grammar or spelling mistakes if it is there. Next one is copy links. This is also copy links where see here you can you if you create. It's a free, and you can create your own account, and you are going to allow to scan 10 pages for free in each month. This is what. See, if you given a 10 pages, then it will be restricted to 10 pages. So you can be utilizing this in a month. It is a 10 pages you can scan. Plug scan, the plug scan, it is a free, and it can give, so 20 scan can be done, that is, but still it is not so secured also. Keep in mind. uh, Next, quick text, you can, this is a one of the thing, quick text, plagium. So this is what I have referred for my demonstration and for your presentation. And yeah, the conclusion is, my suggestion is to have a consistency in your learning skill so that you can reduce the plagiarism. Means you may think over it, because consistency in learning means you are going to build your own idea, and you can build your own sentence. In this way you can reduce the plagiarism. So first thing is, recognize the where and all you are plagiarized and try to avoid it. Understand why the plagiarism, why avoiding the plagiarism is important, and develop a skills for avoiding plagiarism. You can avoid the plagiarism by citing, note taking, quoting, and paraphrasing. Okay, thank you.
Students, if you have any queries, you can ask. You can, or you can send send the message in the chat box. Ma'am, I think there are no queries.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one thing is, I would like to say for you people, uh, oh, can you share the PPT? Oh, that's the full message. Okay, fine. So, sir, one thing I'd like to suggest for the students,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
last, while I concluded, the consistency in learning, that itself they can be make them to not to plagiarize.
Yes.
That itself, that is the main thing, and take interest in studying. Nobody is going to encourage you people. By yourself, you should initiate yourself. That's the main thing. So initiate yourself, take interest in studying. Uh, that's it.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for accepting our invitation. And the presentation was very good and informative, along with comprehensive. You have covered each and every aspect of plagiarism, particularly the basics of plagiarism and also the tools. And you demonstrated how actually students can check plagiarism of their documents, right? So, which is very important. I really thank you for your efforts in preparing in giving the presentation. And I'm sure that our students are definitely benefited by this. Particularly, our MCOM students will be benefited because they have business research methodology subject in their final year. So they have this concept topic called plagiarism. So they will have information about this before they actually start their course on business research methodologies. And this will actually this is the first time we are hosting such kind of topic. So till now we were just concentrating on other kinds of topics, but this is the first time we have taken the plagiarism as a topic for webinar. But actually, this is very important. This should be done in the beginning. Yeah, very important topic, because nobody knows what exactly plagiarism is all about. When we did our degree, even master degree for that matter, we were not aware of what plagiarism all about. We are just copying content from the internet and directly preparing our project reports. So ಆದ ಕಾರಣ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅವಾಗೇನು ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ So it is very important for students because your original content has to be prepared whenever you are writing a report or a document or even for that matter a letter. Originality only matters, right?
Yes.
So, thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again from our institution, and
Sir, thank you.
we will definitely invite you many more times
Thank you, sir, and thank you for providing
in
me
future.
opportunities for providing this platform for me. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. So
Okay.
now we will sign off.
Okay.
Thank you.